Okay, today I'm super excited. We're in Arizona and I'm about to meet with a gentleman named Mike from Spartan Superbikes. Don't really know Mike super well, but I've heard that he has some pretty special motorcycles. I've heard rumblings of like Works SRADs and R7s, etc. So super excited to go check out some of his motorcycles and learn a little bit about his history. So come on, let's go check it out. Mike,
hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Steve.
So pretty excited. What have you got going here?
Well, I'm kind of like the crazy superbike guy.
Yeah.
I do a lot of Suzukis, Yamahas. I do just about everything.
Yeah.
And been doing like race bikes for probably 15 years now.
Okay.
And had really good friends with Yoshimura and Kawasaki and
Yeah.
Honda and Yamaha, and I've had the privilege of getting stuff you're not really supposed to get.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have fun with,
Yeah.
like real superbike parts and superbikes. So I do a lot of carbureted bikes,
Okay.
which a lot of people don't do.
Well, I'm really excited because there's some of these bikes exist in museums and public collections, but not really that many. But seem like there are a lot of bikes in like private collections,
Yes.
but it's pretty hard to like ever see those or find them. So
Yes.
to get an opportunity to check out some of your bikes is a pretty big honor.
Yeah,
So
no
appreciate it.
worries, man.
Yeah.
No worries. I love it. I love it. I'm more than happy to go over whatever you guys need about information, and I do end up helping a lot of people around the world.
Yeah.
If like they need, they got questions about superbike stuff and this and that, and like I said, I had the privilege of knowing all the Yoshimura guys really well, and they're a huge knowledge base.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't do any of this stuff without those guys.
Well, this is a weird thing to say, but we're going to walk past an R7, which
Okay.
you don't really walk past R7s very often. But let's walk past the R7 and go check out this SRAD.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. My baby.
Yeah, so this is a 98 fuel injected?
So it's technically a 98 fuel injected street bike that I got all the Suzuki, the correct OEM 97 bodywork from Suzuki, the livery, except for the fuel tank and the front fender.
Okay.
So
tell me a little bit. You have mentioned XRO. Why?
right.
What?
So what Yoshimura did, like, and all the race teams do, they have their designation for their race parts, their factory race parts, and or their works race parts.
Yeah.
Basically, one nobody can get, which is usually the works parts.
Yeah.
And then the other one is normally the factory parts that people can order from them. This was back in the day, though.
So you have works,
Factory, and
everything
then
else.
you have like third parties, like back in the day, Vance and Hines, and even regular Yoshimura stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of even, Oland, you get regular Oland's forks.
Yeah. Muzzy. And
Muzzy,
stuff.
they were making stuff. But then like even with Muzzy would get his works parts from Kawasaki for the prototype bikes,
So this has some factory parts on it, works parts, or a mixture, or?
Pretty much the swing arm, the fuel tank, almost the entire engine are works parts. The forks technically they're 6700 series. The rear shock is a work series rear shock, even though I think Yoshimura only ran them for 1 year with Picats and Mladen, but for some reason the bikes didn't work right, is my understanding.
Okay.
So they went back to Showa.
I see.
And but these are still works rated forks, and then the wheels are magnesium wheels. The fuel tank's the aluminum. Fuel tank I got from overseas from my French guys, from the CERT guys.
Yeah.
And I think it's 6 liters.
Okay.
If I'm saying that right.
So did
And
this
it's
bike
oversized.
start as a street bike, and then
Started
you
as a street bike.
Yeah.
That's a street bike frame, so it's still a standard non-braced works frame.
Would the works frame have different geometry?
Not different geometry as much as bracing internally.
I see.
So the inside of the box here would be braced at the headstock.
Yeah.
The inside of this would be filled in and braced. This part of the frame would be braced. And then also sometimes they would have different dimensions on them. Some
Yeah.
were shorter, some were longer.
Okay.
Depending on the racetrack they needed to go to and how they wanted the bike to steer.
16.5s?
16.5 in the back, 17 in the front.
Gotcha.
If I can ever find a 17, I would probably swap it out, but I know the owner at, what is he, Carrozaria.
Okay.
He does all the wheels. He mentioned he would, it'd be expensive, but he'd prototype and make me 17-inch wheels
yeah.
for this and the R7.
Okay.
That would be a little easier.
Awesome. Do you want to give just a rundown of the bike and what is all, some of the details?
Yeah, so it's got a full kitted dry clutch on it. It has a full works transmission with different gear ratios. My understanding is when I got it from the Yoshimura guys, it was one of Matt Mladen's transmissions with individual different ratios. It's got sprint pistons in it, modified head, but it's still a stock head. It's got Yoshimura cams in it. It does have head work. It's got, actually on it right now, it's got an XRC radiator. It's got a full works titanium exhaust from Yoshimura on it, full XRC swing arm, linkage. And then we have the Brembos in the front, the works Tokiko rear piston
Okay.
caliper.
Yeah.
And that's all made out of magnesium is my understanding.
Yeah, because stock they had like this big brace, right?
But that swing arm's totally different too. That's a much longer swing arm.
Okay.
So the swing arm pivot has eccentrics in it. These are full works SRAD rear sets.
Do you ride it ever?
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. And then it still has the stock cluster and a few other things. It does have some adjustable pieces. Not everything on it is works,
Yeah.
just because if I want to ride it on the street,
Yeah.
it is a little bit more difficult. I got those are Yoshimura clip-ons from Yoshimura. That's
Okay.
what they made out of billet aluminum, and then that's their throttle system that they used with, I think it's a magnesium housing, and then there's a few other things that I change out. I forget if this is CRG, but I put this guy on here because you can adjust the clutch on the fly.
Yeah.
So with having the dry clutch and messing with it here and there, if I'm doing a little bit of a longer ride, that comes in kind of handy.
Do you think it's possible to build a bike like this again?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
It would take a long time.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people ask me over the years. I've tried to help a lot of people, and probably about 30 to 40 people, and
Yeah.
probably only 2 guys have done it.
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge with?
Getting all the parts you need.
Yeah.
Because you got to have, like, you can't just get one piece of it. You can't run the dry clutch without the race transmission.
Yeah.
And you got to have the correct output shaft. And then there's other internal engine parts to get it to work with the dry
Yeah.
clutch. That's probably one of the hardest parts. But one of my buddies in, I think France did a replica, and he's kind of come along with the friction and steel plates. But then, like, even the fuel tank, you got to have special brackets made front and rear. And people can 3D print nowadays and everything else, but the problem is actually having the parts.
Yeah.
To go off
start
of.
with. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, because they made one bike, but they really didn't. It was probably 8 or 9 iterations of the same bike
Yeah.
over the course of normally the 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes they would modify the fuel tanks, and depending on the size of the rider. So it's a mix and match. There's over the shelf parts. There's a lot of works parts. There's probably about 65, 70% works parts.
Yeah.
But it's basically a street bike,
Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
you know.
Super cool to see.
You want me to start it?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, we can get it started. It may take a time or two, but or not.
So cool. dry clutch is like incredible.
Yeah, that was the goal, that what I was building. And you got to go through and you got to set all these. So there's different springs in here for tension, different colors. There's 3 different colors, red, yellow, and white. And then there's different tensions on the inside. So there's smaller ones, there's larger ones, and that's what sets your tension and everything else, depending on the fibers and the thickness and whatnot.
And you say it's like 4 to 5 horsepower?
The dry clutch adds
Yeah.
4 to 5 horsepower is what they've dynoed it at, the difference. And then I still have, like obviously you heard, I still have a starter. And I had to make, special things and do certain things on it to get everything to work. But like some of these bolts right here with these carbon fiber pieces, I had to shorten it so it wouldn't hit this guy. So these are full carbon fiber. These are carbon fiber I got back from the UK back in the day before they stopped making them.
Those straight ram air tubes are a pretty big difference, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Because the stock one is a totally different shape, I think.
A little bit, it's a little bit more restricted, but these are full open.
Yeah.
And then they go in, and then I have this part, there's foam under here to seal the tank to the frame or the air box because it's flat.
I see.
So this is the whole air box. This is the top of the air box, and it seals to the tray.
Oh, really?
Yes. So there's 2 different versions. You either had a standard air box that fed through the tubes,
Yep.
which fed the injectors or the carburetors, and then you had a tray design where the top of the fuel tank is what's sealed all the way across. So where this ends right here, this is sealed, so there's a foam seal. So then you have more volume of air going into the injectors. And then I'm just running factory injectors because to run the works injectors requires so much more stuff, and usually you had to run Motec.
Okay.
And that's like, no. Nope.
Too much.
Nope. All this has is a power commander. It's nothing super crazy. It makes 131 horsepower on just pump, or if I'm running U44, well, I think it used to be U44. Now I think it's U4 or something. On race fuel, she'll do 138 to the ground.
Okay.
So nothing too crazy. But the factory Superbikes were making 165 for this generation.
Whoa.
And then the 01, 02s were making 175. But like I had some Superbike motors here from Yosh. They're running 17.5 to 1 compression.
Jeez. Mm-hmm. My clapped out street bike's probably like 85 horse, maybe, you think?
Which one?
SRAD?
No. That probably, as long as it's running good, we're at a higher altitude here. We're at 1,400 feet. So we always made a little bit less power here than, let's say, California.
Yeah.
Or I think the magazines would say they would make 117 to the ground, but those were usually editor bikes. Mm-hmm. They were making, I think, 113 to 115, where here we make 110.
Okay.
And that's on stock exhaust, stock everything.
Yeah.
So yours, I would think, is still making 110. And this is the other biggest thing you can do for a track bike. If they haven't told you this, get race foam for your fuel tank.
So it's not sloshing?
You could do nothing else. Put race foam in your fuel tank.
Really?
Well, you got to think about it, right? 1 gallon of fuel weighs what, 7 pounds?
Yeah.
So if you got 4 gallons of fuel in, that's 28 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, if you took a 28-pound weight
Yeah.
and tried to throw it,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard to stop.
Yeah.
Well, and then all the race teams, all the race guys know this. This is like a normal thing. But if you take that 28 pounds down, it's not going to be sloshing around. So if you get on the brakes, all that fuel is not going to transfer forward.
How much of it do you put in there?
You fill it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Just with little chunks?
Yeah, and you can buy them. You can buy them online. You can buy them everywhere. They're like, I think, 3 by 3 by 3 cubes.
Okay.
But I mean, and usually there's nothing that I know that I'm special. All the race guys know this. So you just That's what you do. I do that even on my street bikes.
Yeah.
It's completely, the bike handles completely night and day from having this to not.
Interesting.
You know, and that's the best way I can say is like, take a 28-pound weight, start throwing it forward and try and stop it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Heck
especially
yeah.
something like this that's 6 gallons.
Sure.
So, pretty sure this is it. Yep.
What?
Kind of looks like an F1 piston.
That is wild.
And I think these are all designed, I think they're somewhere between 16 to 8-to-1 to 17.5 compression.
It's insane. It's so little. How big would a stock piston be?
Oh, geez. Overall, probably mass-wise, I think twice the size. But these were also, if I understand correctly, these are also 300-kilometer
Right.
engines
Yeah, yeah.
when they built them. So obviously,
Yeah.
I think they had a practice engine, a qualifying engine, which usually made a little bit more power, and then the race engine. So, but endurance pistons were still 3-ring.
This closet's pretty impressive.
Yeah, there's really hardly anything left in here. These are for my XRC build. These are that I'm gonna do for the XRC. These are the 2-piece from Yoshimura. And
Like, what do you think? Like $2,000 for the whole closet? $3,000? $5,000? 10.
keep going, man.
Keep going.
Yeah, look at this masterpiece that they built. This is for the XRC. XRO kind of looks the same. So you have your top and your bottom. So the whole shaft here can move, and then this is your guide back here, and then titanium bolt right here, titanium everything.
What's this?
That guy? This guy right here?
Yeah.
It's another dry clutch housing. This is for the XRC though. This is for the 2000 to 2003.
Does your family know what's in this closet? Like,
Oh,
if,
yeah.
Okay, if something were to happen to you and this were to go to like the dump, that would be a real shame.
It wouldn't. I have friends that know exactly what they...
Don't throw away the closet.
They know everything. They know everything. Here's some
That kind of stuff happens.
titanium connecting rods.
What?
Yeah, matching. So I had a couple sets, but this is for, what's that? Oh, yeah.
That's so insane.
And then two. So it looks, look at how nice and smooth and shiny that is. So that's what they would do with all the internals.
Wow. What's that finish called?
Oh, they put it in the rocks,
Okay.
and then
And that's just for resistance?
yeah, and then the gears are the same way. RC. So this is the different clutch for the later version. This is for the 2000 to 2003 750. That's actually titanium. That's actually a titanium spring that they use for the top.
Wow. And this is the outside of the clutch? Mm-hmm. That's how it looks on the bike?
This is a different later version because it would actually generate airflow, and then they actually ran a different cover that had a scoop that went on it.
You don't want to put your finger caught in that one.
No.
That's
So
such a wild
everything's titanium. So like some of these parts right here, I'll probably eventually change over to the polished parts, but we had to make sure we had everything for this bad boy. We had metal reusable gaskets so they could take stuff off. It's a fiber instead of having a...
So cool. It's amazing.
Yeah. Specific spacers. It's nuts, man.
Pretty wild to think that there's just like one or two of those parts built.
Yeah.
And they're all different.
Pretty much, yeah, and it's not at all. Like here's the carbon fiber stuff for the XRC. Oh, and here's more bits, special bits that they had. This is for the tack gauges and just, so it's like trying to build one, you have to find so many parts and parts that you're not even gonna know. This is for their telemetry on the front fork.
Yeah.
You know, even that little guy's titanium. So I think their D2 is the communication rods that they ran. That's where it would hook up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have so much.
Pretty amazing. All right. Pretty cool. Awesome. Well, Mike, I really appreciate it. It's super cool to get access to this bike and see it up close and learn about some of it. So that's all we're going to talk about on this video. We might check out a couple other bikes in this collection, but we're just going to keep this to an SRAD, when I know there's a lot of people that love SRADs, myself included. So we're going to wrap this up on this, and thank you for watching.